Norman here, and are you still not subscribed to Matt's channel? Well, if you're not, hit the subscribe button because he's giving out free picks each and every week. Hope you have a good rest of your day.
NFL Week 15 is here, guys. First weekend with Saturday games. Next weekend as well. That is actually Christmas Eve. So we have football the next 2 Saturdays, which is fun. Always nice to have, more football games on more days. You definitely, you can't complain, right? Buffalo versus Miami I'll be looking at. That is a Saturday game. That's a night Saturday game. So I will take a look at that, which is a big game. Big game in that division. Also take a look at another big game. The Chargers versus Tennessee. We'll break down that game. And also, you wouldn't think this would be a big game, but it is. The Jets versus the Lions, right? You wouldn't think this is a big game, but both teams could still make the playoffs. Both teams are playing well. One team a little better than the other. We'll break down those games and provide free picks, leans, and maybe if I'm avoiding the game. Systemsportscapping.com to become a client today. Start profiting long-term in all sports, guys. Shout out to my long-term clients, monthly guys as well. It's much appreciated. Low cost for a lot of good information, a lot of good bets, and profitable, like I mentioned, in all sports throughout the year. System capping on all social media platforms. Give me a follow over there, guys. Instagram probably the most active. Client comments, winning tickets, free picks, sports betting news, sports news in general, all over on Instagram and Twitter. Profitable week 14, solid Sunday, hitting both main bets. We were on the Eagles -7. And a rare 3-team money line parlay, plus 122 full unit. We hit that as well. Sometimes I like the money line over a spread. I like the team to win, but not the spread. Catch it better money line, -300 or -350, minus even 250, -200. I'm not going to bet that straight up in most cases. So if I really like a few teams together, I usually do 2-team parlays, which work for me. Once in a while, I'm actually 2-0 on 3-team parlays this year, so maybe I should be doing them a little more. But when you really like a team to win but can't get to the spread, it's a good option. I don't suggest to do them all the time. I do them in multiple sports, even the UFC. Just get a better number, right? Get a better number, get plus money when you really like it. And sometimes spreads you don't see well. This is not a best year for me for spreads in general. Profitable. But I have many better years before in the spread market. So you have to adapt. You have to know how to adapt. And that's what I'm able to do. I'm able to bet totals, props, money line parlays, and teasers. So be able to adapt is very important, betting on all sports. Hottest sports right now, NBA, NHL, and the World Cup. Those are the hottest sports right now for me. Let's get right into it, guys. Let's get right into it. Like this video as well. It helps me out a ton, guys. Like the video, subscribe, comment, do all that fun stuff. Miami at Buffalo -7. Total 44.5. These two, they play at the start of the year, right? If you remember, end of September, Miami sneaked out a nice win, 21-19. Remember how good Miami started, right? Remember how good they started. Now, starting to slow down a little bit here. Back-to-back losses. Bills continue to find ways to win, right? Coming off a big divisional win versus the Jets in a slugfest. Tua looked like he's taking a bit of a step back here last few games. Under 80 passer rating last week versus the Chargers, which is concerning. 10 for 28, 145 yards. And it's not getting easier here. It's not getting easier versus the Buffalo Bills, right? Not like the Chargers defense was playing great coming into that game, because they weren't. They always had the expectations to play well. They've been banged up though. Yeah, probably one of their better games they played all year. Bills pass D allowed, they're allowing some yards on the year. They're 19th in yards allowed in the NFL. However, they're allowing 81% passer rating, which is pretty solid. And they do have 13 interceptions on the year. They got White back, remember, in the secondary. That does help a lot. They also don't let up big plays, which is what Dolphins like to do and how they win games. Big plays from Hill and Waddle, right? So That obviously does benefit here the Bills secondary. It'll be cold. It'll be cold also in Buffalo. No snow from what I've seen in the weather forecast. So obviously that does favor Buffalo here. Hot weather team coming in to Buffalo. Just played in LA. Another hot destination plays come. So you got to obviously favor the Bills there in that aspect of the game. Miami has struggled on defense this whole year, guys. Especially versus the pass. Herbert tore them apart. Tore them apart last week for 367 yards. Probably have to look at this Allen prop. I saw it at 235. I was confused. It's just because he went under the last two games, I guess, but he was playing against the Pats and the Jets secondary. This Miami secondary is towards the bottom of the NFL, guys. So definitely take a look at that. Quick thing here. It's a play for me already, guys. Allen over 235 passing. I don't see how he doesn't get there. He threw for 400 yards the last time these two play. And you can't really run the ball against this Miami team. They're very good against the run. So I have to look that way. From a spread standpoint, 7's a lot. 7's a lot. Miami is due for a little bounce back here, but I do think Buffalo wins this game at home. I would have to lean the points. Total, no real... I lean the over, but I'm not going to play the total. Favorite is the Allen over passing yards here. I'm still stuck on this Dolphins 8. I have them over 8.5 wins on the year. They're at 8. I don't think they're going to get it here. They still got 4 more games after this, so I do think they'll eventually get it. But hopefully they cash that ticket sooner than later. Good game though. Good game on Saturday. Looking forward to that one. Chargers -3 versus Titans in LA. Total 46.5. Chargers coming into this game off their best performance of the year, in my opinion, beating the Dolphins that we just talked about. They played excellent on D, which I just mentioned. And Herbert was outstanding. Threw for over 360 yards. Big reason for this bounce back from the Chargers, and I do think they're going to go on a run here to end the year, is they're healthy. This team was banged up, guys, and it was very important, guys. Keenan Allen, Michael Williams, Lindsey, their center. Lindsey, their center, is a top, the top 100 that they do. He's 60th in the NFL at all positions. He's a very good center. He's back. Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, obviously Everett, obviously Eckler. This is a very good offense. Defense can struggle at times. That's the only one thing I'm worried about here. They're not great against the run, and in comes Derrick Henry. Off a better game against Jacksonville. He was able to run for over 120. However, he did have 2 fumbles. That's something to keep in mind here. So I do think if Chargers definitely could exploit this secondary of the Titans. This secondary is terrible. We just saw Lawrence throw for over 350 on them. It's a terrible secondary, and I just think that's what's going to happen here. If you can get Herbert anything under 300, I would take the over there. Even though I do get scared a little bit off props when they're 300 plus for passing yards, but he's just coming off a 360 game, and this Titans secondary is not good. Better against the run, so I expect a lot of pass dumps to Eckler instead of runs, and you can see Eckler start piling up the yards there to help out that Herbert total there. Like I mentioned, I think the Chargers are a bet-on team moving forward if they can stay healthy. Best performance we've seen them definitely on the defensive side of the ball last week. So I expect the Chargers to finish strong here. Titans, 3 losses in a row coming into this game. Sometimes I don't like betting against the Titans. Very well-coached team. You got Henry. Sometimes they do show up. I'd rather play Titans at home than on the road. Coming off a bad loss to Jacksonville. Jacksonville put up 36 on this team, so... yeah, I'd have to look at the Chargers here if I were to bet this game. 3, it could be a field goal type of game, so you can look Chargers another market, money line, teaser, etc. But yeah, I think Chargers get it done here. I'm going to be betting on them moving forward. I have a bet on them this year to make the playoffs. So I have a bet to make the playoffs. So that could be wild card. That could be win the division. I'm not going to win the division because KC's in the division, but I do think they get a wild card here. They got to win this game. They want to make the playoffs here, they have to win this game. Tennessee's okay in that shitty division, right? Indy's not catching them. I don't think anyone's catching them. Titans probably just have to win 2 more games maybe to clinch the division, maybe even 1. So I don't think that's too much of a big deal. But Yeah, Titans off 3 losses. You expect them to kind of show up and come out here. I think it's going to be a close game, but Chargers should find a way. And when this team's healthy, Keenan Allen last week, 14 targets on 12 catches. That's how they're successful, when they can feed the ball to Allen. Allen's not going to get 150 yards for you, but he's going to get the catches. He's going to get the catches. He's going to get that touchdown, that important touchdown for you. He just moves the chains. Along with Eckler. Williams is the big deep threat. Everett moves the chains as well. I really like their offense. It's coming together now. I think they beat the Titans here. Lions -1 versus Jets. Total 43.5. Just announced, guys. I'm actually doing this Friday morning. White will be out. In comes Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson. So a downgrade for the Jets, playing a hot Lions team that needs to win outright to make up playoffs, in my opinion. Lions have won 5 of their last 6, guys, and just beat the Vikings. They got that Williams wide receiver that they drafted high. A new toy for Goff. First throw was a big touchdown. 50, 60-yard touchdown. First catch for Williams. Goff has been playing outstanding as of late. Vikings defense, however, not great. Terrible in the secondary, one of the worst. Jets secondary is strong, very strong. So I'm going to see what really Goff could do this week. Jets have limited Josh Allen last week in the air. And we'll need to limit Goff here if they want to win, because I do think they're going to struggle a little bit on offense with Wilson in there. Third lowest rating versus wide receivers the Jets allow. They've been very good. Very good in the secondary. Pretty solid against the run, too. Their defense is good all around. The Jets is just they struggle to put up points at times. And I think they're going to struggle a little more here. O-line has been great for the Lions this year, allowing the 3rd fewest sacks. In come the Jets, 4th most sacks in the league. So it's going to be a battle in the trenches there. That's what I like watching when I watch football. I like watching matchups. I like watching the O-line versus the D-line. I like watching the secondary wide receiver matchup versus the best corner. Love watching those type of battles. We should see a battle here up front. The downgrade to Wilson has me worried here. I would have to play the Lions if I were to bet this game, just because how they're playing, how much confidence they have right now. They're healthy. Right? They have all their weapons back, guys. That's something to also keep in mind here. So I'm going to have to look at the Lions on the road. Am I going to bet it? Probably not. If I had to bet this, though, I would last minute change for Wilson. The defense scares me with the Jets. Right? I can see them kind of shutting down maybe this Lions offense for a little bit. And they do enough maybe in the run game. Someone gets going for the Jets, but I lean the I lean the Lions here. How crazy would it be if the Lions make the playoffs? What a story that would be. Teaser options. What do we like for teaser options this week? We hit one last week for you guys. Hopefully you tailed that. This week, 6.2 team teaser. I'm going to look at the Eagles, -3. Cowboys, +1.5. Eagles at Chicago. Should win the game by a field goal, right? Is it a letdown spot? Cowboys almost got caught by a letdown spot against Houston, but they were able to show that they were able to come back in the 4th quarter, and I think they're going to go into Jaguars thinking the same thing. It's not this game that could be a letdown spot. Lawrence playing better as of late, so we got to be in their focus, and I do think Cowboys get it done. Underdogs of the week. Last week I gave out a couple leans, right? Nothing official, but they both hit. So hopefully you guys tailed that. Jacksonville and the Chargers both hit. So even my leans hit at times. So I know some of you guys probably tailed that as well. So if you did, congrats there. Don't love anything again this week. My favorite maybe the Steelers at +135. I don't think Carolina is that much better than the Steelers. I think Steelers can get a win due to that defense on the road. I think it's going to be a very low-scoring, close game, so Steelers is worth a look there. That will do it, guys. That will do it. Christmas is around the corner. I'll have a video out next week, probably out on Wednesday. I am going away to visit the family for Christmas, so it'll probably be an early video. No more UFC videos until the new year, so you will get a Christmas NFL video next week for Week 16. That will do it. Like I always say, guys, bet smart and know your limits. Enjoy the games this weekend.